Did we read the book?
Yes,
Did we understand it?
debatable. Welcome to Reading Between Wines.
Where the books are questionable
The opinions are strong.
and the wine is absolutely necessary. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana. And today, we have thoughts.
So many thoughts.
So pour yourself something strong.
You're gonna need it.
Let's uncork this week's read. Okay, Cece, what are we drinking today?
This week's wine is Cath coated. A rosé, sweet, comforting, and a little shy, just like her. Wait, let me get this wine out. You have yours?
Yeah, I do. What do you have?
Rosé.
I have a rosé matouche. Perfect.
Let's do this. Oh, wait.
Okay.
You know what? I have something better. That just fell.
Oh my god, me too.
Matching! Look at us.
Rosé coated. Pour ourselves a nice glass.
Yes. Here's.
Cheers, bitch.
Oh, okay. Felt like that was uncalled for. Today we're talking about Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is a coming-of-age book about Cath, a girl whose entire personality is writing fanfiction and avoiding human interaction at all costs. I can relate. Her fanfiction is about Simon and Baz, which is basically Harry Potter turned gay. I'm locked in. Did you know that Rainbow Rowell actually wrote books of Simon and Baz?
I did not. That's going to change some of my perspectives on what I had.
It's on Goodreads. It's actually 3 books about Simon Snow. It's Carry On, Wayward Son, and Anyway the Wind Blows.
So Carry On, it's Cath's fan fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, I need to look into that.
Cath goes to college with her twin sister, Ren, and suddenly her sister is cool and independent, and Cath's comfort zone, gone, vanished, destroyed. Instead of making friends, Cath does what any sane fangirl would do. She stays in her dorm, writes fanfics, and emotionally attaches herself to characters who cannot hurt her. Again, relatable. Meanwhile, her roommate is intimidating, but actually iconic. Her roommate's boyfriend, Levi, is just a walking sunshine. I love him. The whole book is basically Cath learning that you can't hide in stories forever. There's family drama, anxiety, love, and a lot of awkwardness. Before we get into this episode, just a quick disclaimer. We'll be touching on topics like anxiety and possible bipolar disorder and neurodivergence. If these are sensitive or triggering for you, please feel free to skip this one. We completely understand. Your mental health always comes first, and taking care of yourself is and should always be the priority.
Well said.
Thank you. All right, Mariana, let's get started. What did you think this book was going to be before you started?
So knowing you, I thought this was going to be a cute college romance with some quirky fanfic vibes, hence the title Fangirl. Like, haha, she writes fan fiction, how relatable, she'll grow, she'll kiss a boy, the end. Instead, I personally got anxiety from reading this. Codependency, emotionally unavailable dads, twin separation trauma, and a girl who would literally rather fail a class than stop writing Carry On. Ma'am, priorities.
Hers are correct.
I'm sorry, it's a class that you got special permission to be in, and you can't draw anything as a writer out when she basically wrote Nick's book anyways. I'm sorry, like that for me, I was a little bit all over the place.
In honor of Fangirl, I brought my One Direction t-shirt. It says, I'm half a heart without you. And it's like a
Perfect.
half a heart.
Perfect.
No, honestly, this book gave me Wattpad vibes. I felt like I was back to being 14, 15, reading in bed, on like those little phones. They're like horrible. It brought me back like to a simpler time where the only things I care about was that people called Louis Louis and not Louis. It brought me back to, I don't know if I can say this, the bromance between Harry and Louis.
And Louis, yeah.
It brought me back to that time. I was like, okay, I love this. I do have a question here. Are you a fangirl or are you normal? Do you like things a normal amount? Because me, I can't.
I think I'm a deeply complex fangirl character. The types of things that I fangirl about are such a wide range, like a variety of things, specifically in terms of, musical artists. I love One Direction. I love MGK. I love System of a Down. I love Taylor Swift. If you just played my songs on random, it would be chaotic. You wouldn't know what kind of personality I had because it would be all over the place.
Also, you, I feel like that describes you all over the place. Pretty much you. No? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, when you were talking, I'm like, oh, but yeah, no.
I guess, but for people who don't know, I'm like all over the place.
That's fair. I literally have on my notes, like, I knew after before after was after. I was on the trenches on Wattpad. I read all the fan fictions about everyone and everything. But like all of this to say, I get Cath, okay? Girlie, I've never lied to any artist a normal amount. If I like you, I like you. I'll go to war. Okay, Taylor Swift would go to war for her. Would do it.
I remember you at the Harry Styles concert.
I went all out. I was like, when he sang Matilda, I was crying so hard. People around me were like, you okay? I was like, I'm not. And bear in mind, younger girls than me, okay? And I was like, oh. I was like, you know? So yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I can
like
see that.
anything a normal amount. It's always too much.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Books, wine, energy, or vineyard elite? I know my answer. What's yours?
I said that this is like box wine, but like the kind that you defend with your whole chest. Because on one hand, it's messy, dramatic, it's questionable in quality, like, and specifically looking at you, the plagiarism storyline. But on the other hand, it hits emotionally in a very real, I feel personally attacked kind of way. It's about kids. It's like kids, like you're not even old enough to drink yet, girl. You don't get the good stuff.
That's true, but like, okay, you know what? I'll defend this book until the day I die. I did put Vineyard Elite, but I think it was because at the time that I was reading this, I was quite ill. So it made me feel like, you know, those cozy little books that you have a blanket on and it's raining outside and you're like, oh, it's warm inside, you know? It was the vibes that it was giving me. So I think it was because of the time I was reading this, it really felt like a warm blanket. But I get that for a lot of people, it was just like, what happened? Why are you acting this way? So who annoyed you more?
Oh god, I have like a long rant for this. Oh my god.
Go on. I'm here. I'm sad.
So obviously fucking Ren. I'm sorry I said it. Miss Girly really said, I'm gonna abandon my extremely anxious twin sister, party my way through college, and then act shocked when things fall apart. And also, Cath annoyed me a little bit too. The way she refused to communicate, the way she just shuts down. I was like, girl, Levi is right there being emotionally literate. Please engage. At the same time, I wanted to call out Levi for one moment. Sir, I love you, but this was not it. When he first sees Ren and he basically has that reaction of like, oh wow, like visibly impressed, and then turns to Cath and go like, oh, you're the twin? I'm sorry.
When he was like,
That is like,
she's
that's
Superman and you're Clark Kent, I was like, sir?
yeah, that was the definition of a backhand comment, because what you're actually saying is you're related to someone I find more attractive or you're more socially appealing. Surprising. And Cath, being Cath, immediately internalizes it. You can literally shrink in that moment. Like, yes, I am the less shy twin. I feel like less attractive. It's subtle, but it hits. If you have siblings, those kind of comments, they are triggering. Those kind of comments, like, oh, why can't you be more like your sister? Or why can't you, like, oh my God, growing up, people listening to that and comparing kids like that. This is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, Levi didn't mean to be rude. I understand that. He's just, golden retriever with no filters sometimes. But it still reinforces that whole dynamic where Ren is the outgoing, effortless one, and Cath is the awkward afterthought, basically. And I'm not here for that energy, even if he does redeem himself later by being the sweetest man alive.
Okay, but it does.
I clocked it,
Yeah.
and I did not forget.
Okay, but it does say later on in the book that was its way to saying that she's
that was stupid.
Saying, that's what she says. That sucked, and I was like, girl, it truly did suck. But he's also a man. They're not good with words, okay? So we have to give him a little bit of a discount here because I'm with you. I was like, Levi, what the?
When he said that, I just felt like internal rage.
But I had on my notes, I know he didn't just tell her she was Clark Kent because she has glasses and everything. And then he even goes to say, maybe if you took out your glasses. And I was like, girl, from someone that wears glasses, I know for a fact you didn't just say that to me. Get out of my
So who annoyed you more? I already know the answer, but who annoyed you more?
Who do you think annoyed me more?
Obviously, Ren.
Yeah, no, I hated her. I was like, throughout the book, I was like, I don't like you at all. She was unreasonable pretty much the whole entire book. And as you were saying, like, I'm a little sister. The way that Ren was to Cath, I was like, this is not okay. She clearly needs you. And you're just like acting this way? I don't think so. Not on my watch, bitch. Not on my fucking watch. But it's a tie because obviously, if I have to choose between a man and a woman, I would always choose the man to hate. And Nick, boy, oh boy, Nick, you knew this was coming, didn't you? You knew.
Yeah, because I didn't like him either. I didn't put that here, but I didn't like him either.
The way, okay, first of all, so you're gonna let a woman walk back to her dorm room by herself at midnight. You're not even gonna wonder, like, how do you get her? No. And when she asked him, like, do you mind? He's like, I'd rather not. Excuse me? Excuse the fuck out of me. What do you mean? I was like, oh, this boy, I hate him. And then, not only does he do that, he robs her of her story that she basically did. I was like, you're on my list, Nick. Welcome to the man-child list. It's long. It's motherfucking long. Do you know what I loved was, it's one of my memorable moments, but I'm going to say here because I'm talking about Nick, was when he went to her dorm room, to Cath's dorm room, and he was like, oh, I need you to co-sign this story for me. And Cath finally had a backbone and she was like, I don't fucking think so. And Ren, the only time I liked Ren in this, and Regan was like, I dare you to read a little louder. Step one little step out of line, I'm going to punch you in the throat. I was like,
That's sister energy.
I was like, if you beat his ass, call me. Because I'm ready. I'm ready.
I love how the teacher, I forget her name, the professor, knew it was her story. She felt it was coded and she refused to let him submit it as his own.
I do have to mention here something. You mentioned earlier her dad. I do have to mention him here because, listen, it really did drive me insane. The twins were the caregivers of the dad. That's not at all how the relationship should be between parent and kid. It should always be the other way around. Wherever age the kid is at, the dad or the parent, whatever, should always be the caregiver, should always be the adult in that situation. However, I do think mental health is important. I think he's going through a lot and he did his best. Okay. And maybe his best wasn't the best ever, but it was his best. No, I think you knew this was coming as well. The mom? Do you know what? It's a disservice to all real mothers to call this bitch a mom. I'm calling her Laura from now on because the way I have a bone to pick with this woman. The fuck you mean? It's too much of a hassle to be in a hospital when your kid is in a hospital. The fuck you mean? I'm a mom. Okay, everyone knows this about me. That's the greatest joy of my life. It has bad moments. I'm not gonna sit here and say like it's fun all around. Every day is a fun ride. It's not. Okay, but it does. Okay. I need to calm down, honestly. You decided to have these kids. There's abortion for a reason. The option is there, but you decided to have them. So you cannot decide to then abandon them because you want to be Laura and not mom. That's not how it goes. Having kids, that relationship, it's not a relationship that you can break up and move on with your life. You always be a mom. Always. Wherever you go, wherever you do, you're a mom. And you need to put them first, above everything else. So yeah, I don't know. It's between the three of them. Ren, Laura, and Nick. If I see you, run. Run.
Yeah, I mentioned Laura, not the mom, later on in like my what the fuck kind of moment. I have nothing nice to say about her. The whole situation is like I'm deeply uncomfortable and I can't look away from it. And it's like this woman literally left her kids, dipped out of their lives, and then just casually reappears and goes, "Hey girls." As if she didn't literally cause emotional damage. Like, what the fuck? Like, fully, what the fuck? And the way that Cath reacts, so stiff, like guarded, barely speaking, while Ren is over there trying to reconnect, like everything can be fixed over a dinner. The emotional whiplash was like super intense. Also cringe, but the painful kind was Laura trying to act normal. making small talk, trying to bond, and you can just feel Cath shutting down internally. I was sitting there like, ma'am, you cannot speedrun motherhood after you just decided to abandon it. This was just secondhand discomfort and a strong urge to send everyone to therapy.
Yeah, no,
Everyone.
truly. I was like, what do you mean? So you abandoned them and now you just want to waltz back into their lives like nothing happened? Like he was just like, oh, I needed time for myself. Then keep on having time to yourself. Don't let me stop you. Go fuck off. Let's move on.
I think we need to address the plagiarism situation, and specifically Simon and Baz, which you told me a little bit more about, and I'm super curious, but this is what I was feeling in the moment. For me, the plagiarism situation, the professor calling Cath out for basically writing fan fiction instead of original work. She's in a fiction writing class, not a fan fiction writing class. So I was torn. On one hand, I get it. Fan fiction is her safe space, her identity, her comfort. On the other hand, you can't just turn Simon Snow fanfiction for a college fiction class and expect a standing ovation. That's not how academia works, babe. That's just really not how it works. I understood it, but like she was on the verge of tears. She didn't understand it. And she was like, the professor just doesn't get it. I'm like, no, she gets it. Fan fiction is based off of someone else's character, someone else's world. I understood where the professor was coming from because she wanted to hear her original voice. She feels like this is her original voice, but it's her original voice based off of being a fangirl of a series, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how you feel about that.
I felt like she was being naive and slightly stupid. This is a very important class. They are giving you several chances. And you're just going to throw that opportunity away because of what? But I think as someone that has anxiety, I could see where she was coming from because it was very much, this is outside of my comfort zone, so I don't want to do it. Also, like when I was, how old is she? 19? 18?
18.
18.
18.
When I was 18, I would rather not do stuff because it's outside of my comfort zone. I think it comes from she's young, she has a lot of anxiety, she's a bit naive. She has a very sheltered life because she always had Ren there to kind of like serve as a shield for her when it comes to those kind of situations.
Also, can we talk about the absolute betrayal that is the Simon Snow excerpts throughout the book? Because how are you going to feed us crumbs of the world the entire time? Simon, Baz, the tension, the drama, and then just not tell us how Cath's fanfiction ends? How, like, excuse me? Did Baz die? Did they kiss? What happened? I need closure. I need answers. You cannot emotionally invest me in a fictional fandom inside a fictional book and then just leave me hanging just like that. Like, jail. Straight to jail.
Get me out of here.
Goodbye.
No, I totally agree. I was literally like, I want to read the books now. They immediately went to my TBR because I was like, I'm reading this.
Yes, I need it.
I'm reading that. Where is it?
I also wanted to know, like, how did her fiction writing class go? Did the teacher like the paper?
Like, it. And then in the end, you do have a little bit of what she wrote for that. And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Don't end like this. I hate open ending books. I don't like it. Have I said I have anxiety?
Once or twice. I think you mentioned it like once or twice.
Okay. Would you want this relationship in real life?
Levi, yes, absolutely. No hesitation. She reads his writing out loud to him. It was adorable. He's patient, he's kind. He literally waits for Cath to be ready instead of pushing her. Where do we order one? Where do we order one of those? And like instead of saying like I'll like, do you need me to walk you home? Like he's just standing there waiting for her. Like
unlike you, Nick.
Unlike you, motherfucking Nick. Unlike you. But Cath in a relationship experience? Super stressful. You're gonna need therapy and snacks. Mostly snacks. She made me feel, and I think I texted you at one point, I felt her anxiety through the pages. Like, I felt anxious. I was reading about her trying to go to the dining hall, and I was like sweating, and I was like, oh my God. What if they stare at me?
It's at me.
Like, I'm not gonna know where to sit. Oh my God. I was just like, girl.
I'm taking this personally. No. I'm taking this personally because I am Cath. She is me, I am her. So you saying that, I'm like, oh, my poor ex-boyfriend. So I was like, I'm thinking like maybe I'm the problem because I am Cath. I would have this relationship because again, I am Cath. I've had this relationship in my life before. No, I did not, because I've never had a Levi. Because if I had a Levi, I would stay with him. I would be married right now. But they are adorable. I do think they made mistakes, but I think that's because they're like human and they are young. And I'm looking at you, Levi, kissing that random stranger, that random girl.
In the kitchen. Ugh. Dirty. Dirty
Mm, dirty,
surfaces.
dirty, dirty. Why are you doing that in a kitchen where you cook? I don't like that. And what I think more realistic about this book is that Cath was not immediately attracted to Levi. At one point, right at the beginning, she's like, it's not like Levi was bold or anywhere near bold yet. I was like, oh, do you know what? Yes, girl. And I felt like this is so real because sometimes people become beautiful to you from the
Yeah.
way they treat you, from the way their heart is. Levi just has a heart of gold. Again, I'm gonna give him a discount for kissing the random girl in the kitchen because I'm like this. I don't see it.
And him then justifying it, going, it was just a kiss
I'm
after they had just
blind. I'm blind. I don't
Mm,
I don't
but
see.
also I have to say part of this because we're talking about relationships in real life. This relationship with her sister, like, no, thank you. When I went to university, me and my sister actually became super close because we realized, we're family. We are what we have to like, we are our comfort zones, like
Yeah.
we know each other. Like, we even literally took the same classes together. I took an economics class with her. We sat next to each other and we like cheated off of each other. We did literally everything together. So, like, the dynamic that Ren has with Cath, I don't relate to at all. That for me was like, ich. But the relationship with Reagan was amazing, and her pushing her sister back when she wanted to dorm together the following year, amazing.
I loved those moments where Kat had a backbone, like with the
Mhm.
mom when Ren was at one point was like, "I can't believe you're making me do this alone. Making you do this alone, girl, get the fuck off my."
Yeah.
And the way Kat was like, I'm not making you do anything. You decided this by yourself. Now go and do it." And I was like, "Okay, Kat. Okay, backbone. Let's go." When Ren was like, "Oh, let's room together," and she was like, record scratch. I don't think so, bitch. You said no to me, now I'm saying no to you. And it wasn't
And
that
I
she was
love that.
doing this as like a petty thing. She was literally like, no, actually I already said yes to Regan. What pisses me off is that even when Ren is not there for Cath, Cath is always there for Ren. She was always like when
I know. When she dialed the 911, all of
exactly.
that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you called her, but it was accidentally. But like you did call her. She went straight to you, and you were pissed at her because she was worried about you. I was like,
Yeah.
no. Mm. Anyway,
Yeah, it was not nice.
was it
Yeah.
all justified in your opinion?
I mean some of it, like their mom leaving, sorry, Laura leaving and Ren spiraling, that felt real, but some of it was self-inflicted. Kath choosing isolation. I mean, I get this is part of like the anxiety bit, but she chooses isolation every single time communication was an option. So I think that's a little bit of the anxiety or neurodivergent kind of aspects coming out. I was just like, babe, you're creating like 80% of your own problems. And I wish I could just reach out to you and go, like, we could sit down and
Let's
we could
be
talk.
a cat. I do think she needs someone to just be like, "Ooh, let's
Yeah.
calm down." There's no need to be like that. When it comes to the drama, I didn't think that was a lot of it, and what it was there, I don't think it was too much. And I think it was I at any point did I thought, "Oh, this is unnecessary." I didn't think that at all. I was just like, who doesn't have issues with their family? Everyone. Everyone has issues with their family. Everyone has a little family member that you like side eye, you know?
Yeah.
All of us with siblings relate to have a spat with them, relate to have a moment where like I'm not actually talking to my sister, I'm not actually talking to my brother.
But then like 2 minutes later, you're fine
Yeah.
again.
And also do you know when you talk badly about your sibling and then someone else is like, actually, and I'm like, oh, actually nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the exact same. I'm like, only me. Only me.
But no one can talk good about your brother either. So like which is it? Mariana, which is it? because we can't talk badly about them. We can't talk nicely. Can't say they're hot. So
if you've had to seen the chats that he's sent me over the past couple of days, you would understand.
red flag or book boyfriend?
Levi was a walking green flag. A green forest, actually.
I don't have a flag. I have this.
The only red flag is that he sets the standards so high now that real men are just disappointing as hell. Nick, however, jail, do not pass, go, do not steal my writing, and then act as if it's a misunderstanding. Like, oh, but you were just editing. You were just editing pieces. Bro.
The way he tried to gaslight us as well. Get the fuck away from me. Don't ever talk to me again. I don't want to see you. I don't want to. You're breathing too loudly. Okay? So stop.
For you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our first book boyfriend of the podcast. Welcome, Levi. Join us. You're the only one so far. And I think for a really long time because men are disappointing. But welcome. We am so happy. Levi, I love you. I love when he said to Cath, I choose you over everyone. I was like, my love. Cath, what is it like to be God's favorite? Because like, Levi. When he showed up at the hospital, I was literally like, she didn't have to say to him that she wanted him there because she wouldn't, and because she's Cath, and she wouldn't ask for anything from anyone. Levi, the man that you are. He was always there for her, even when she didn't ask, even when she was like, you need to go away. He was always there. When they had that little spat about Simon and Bass, where he was like, you always writing and everything. And then she goes to the bathroom, and then she comes back, and he's there, sitting at her door. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I said that I could go without talking to you for 9 days when I can't even go an hour. I was like, Levi.
That was so cute.
Levi, please, you can't do this to me, because then how would I ever be in a relationship if this is my standard? I can't do this anymore. But yeah, love Levi, would do anything for Levi. Cath, let's go to therapy together. I have 2 moments that are really stuck in my head. Both of them are right at the beginning, and right at the beginning I was like, oh, I love this book. This book is going to be good. The first one was Regan being an absolute icon, where she was like, she turned to Cath and she was like, are you on drugs? And Cath was like, no, what? And then Regan was like, maybe you should be. I was like, queen behavior. Okay, yes. Also at the beginning, Cath was like, to her dad, was like, why is everyone blonde and white? I literally have on my notes. Wait, I love her. We're gonna have fun, Cath, me and you.
I do have a moment that was kind of like cringe, but I don't know if it was a joke or not. And that's what I don't understand.
Okay, go on.
When she is talking to Levi and like he runs his hand through his hair and then it just kind of like stays put, and she's just like, well, how does your hair just do that? And then he goes, I shower once a month. I was like,
he was joking. He was joking.
I don't know, because then there's this scene where he comes out of the shower and I was like, was that his one time a month shower? When he leaves her room, she like stuffs her face into her pillow to smell him. I'm like, ew, like that's not smell good.
Gross. I was like, Cal, I don't understand this. This is the moment I don't understand. Like, what do you mean?
So like, I actually did have another one, and I was just like, not sure how to. Like, was it? I didn't understand if it was a joke or not, to be honest.
I think it was a joke, but yeah, there's a few moments where I'm like, ah! No, hold on, Cath, because this, I'm trying to defend you, but I don't know how. But do you know at the beginning when she's like setting up a dorm, and then she puts a picture of a dad, just her dad, not her and her dad, just the dad, on a bedside table. I was like, just your dad? I don't know how I feel about this, Cath. I feel like that's...
And it was when he was younger and like a tux or something, right?
Yeah, on his wedding day. And I was literally... Yeah. I have on my notes, like, am I gonna like this book? Is this book about something that I don't... What is this book about? I was literally like it was right at the beginning, babes. And I was like, ah!
Oh my God. You were like, oh no, does she have a crush on her dad?
I was like, is this book about her and her dad? What is this? What's happening? I was literally like...
You were like, how did I somehow end up with Mariana's book?
I was like, am I reading a Mariana's book? What is happening? I don't think even you can read that. Come on.
No, I couldn't. That's disgusting.
I do have a question. At one point when, Levi is telling her that he can't really read and everything because the words get jumbled and he can't finish a book. And he does say that he listens to books. And Cath goes like, "Oh, audiobooks count as reading a book. Do you think audiobooks count? Yes or no?"
I don't think they count as reading. For me, reading a book is like an experience. That's like watching the movie, like while you're walking, cleaning the house, and the movie's playing in the background. I'm old school. I like to have it in front of me. I like to have the physical copy of the book. That's what the artist intended. I love the availability that audiobooks give to people who don't have the ability to read. I love that aspect of it. It's a shame that a lot of the audiobook platforms are kind of expensive,
Yeah.
which is annoying, because I think they should be more accessible anyways. So on that aspect of it being available for people with reading impairments or like dyslexia or like what Levi can't focus on the pages in the book, like there's people who need that.
Mhm.
So for that aspect and that aspect alone, I think it's amazing. But like as a reader, would I ever do audiobooks? No.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's your opinion. It's fine. It is what it is. I don't agree or disagree. I like reading books, but as someone that has dyslexia, I love an audiobook too because sometimes, especially when it's like world building, there's a lot of words and like
Yeah.
my brain can't like concentrate enough to be like just doing that because like I'm doing that and I'm thinking, what am I gonna do for dinner? What should I wear tomorrow? What am I giving Francisco? And I'm like, oh, what what's this? What are we? Why is that a sword? Like I thought this was fairies. See, my brain is not there anymore. Like I like audiobooks. I think it's really great, but I do understand people that think that that's not reading because that's not effectively reading. Like you're not actually reading words. So I get it. I'm like, I'm not here or there with that. I just want.
I'm there for the experience, you know? I don't know. It's just like the vibes. So cozy. I don't know.
I completely understand. I love a book. I love getting lost in the world, but I also like doing the dishes and listening to a book. I also like having a shower and listening to a book. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like there's everything for everyone, and I like that. And but I do think they count.
I think they count in scenarios. Like I will say they have like voice actors and some of the voice actors. I heard some of them and I was like, oh.
I once started. I'm not gonna say the book, but I hate this book. But I think it was mostly because I hated the girl that was doing it. I was,
Oh, okay.
oh my god, girl Lee. She was so monotone. I was just like, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yes. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. This leads us to our memorable moments.
Is your memorable moment the same memorable moment I have?
My memorable moment is one of the cutest moments that was like heart melting when Cath stayed up all night reading The Outsiders out loud to Levi because he struggled with reading.
It's my memorable
Like,
moment too.
are you kidding? That is peak love language behavior. No grand gestures, no drama, just her sitting there helping him in the most patient, thoughtful way. I was unwell. That was freaking adorable. And I also did download The Outsiders to read it because when she was reading it out loud, I was like,
Oh,
I might be interested in this book.
I loved like the little sleepy kiss and then falling asleep together. I love that we have the same moment of the book. Honestly, I was like, it's just so cute that they cuddle up together. But then you went and ruined it. A man is always a dog, and you know what they say? A Labrador is a dog too. So I might forget, but I will never forget.
I also think that Cath finally writing something original at the end was growth, and we love to see growth.
We love it. We love it.
It was such a big step for her if you think about it because she was choosing to create something that was hers instead of hiding behind Simon Snow.
Normally, I know what you're gonna answer this question, and now I'm like, I don't know. Is this a reread or just a redraink for you?
It totally depends on the vibes. Like for me, this could be a reread, but like a very specific mood reread.
Yeah.
You have to be like, I want to feel seen, but slightly called out. Otherwise, just stick to the wine.
That's fair. I have it as a reread. I don't need any alcohol. Water works just fine for me in this book.
Yeah, this book was so tame. It was so cute. I think it was just a cute
It's just a
story.
vibe. Okay, do we think Cath is main character vibes or delusional?
Main character vibes, but in a very introverted, anxiety coded way. She's not delusional. She's just avoiding reality like it personally offended her.
Mm.
Again, I don't know if this is the neurodivergent side coming out, the anxiety. So I don't want to offend anybody, but it's just like she feels like life personally attacked her at every corner.
Yeah, I also have main character. Cath is a vibe. I relate to her. Like I said, I am Cath. When she gets to uni, she goes like, there's this monster in my belly that's making me not want to go to the cafeteria. I was like, oh, anxiety. Know it well. Know it well, Cath. I I nearly failed. Well, I did fail a couple of classes because when I was 1 minute late to a class, I wouldn't go in because I was like, the class is full, and now I'm gonna walk in, and everyone's gonna look at me. Absolutely the fuck not. I'm skipping 1 minute. There, if the class is full, I'm out of there. I'm gone. I'm not coming to this class. I'm not going in. So, but I do have to say, Cath, my love, I adore you. I understand you on a deeper level. But Kanye West to hype you up, Kanye
Oof,
West.
oof. And she knew all the lyrics to his songs. I was like, oof.
That was the only moment I was like, okay, she's apparently not me. And that's what I say. She's not perfect. She makes mistakes. Okay.
Yeah. I do have to say, Ren's redemption arc. Where's the redemption arc? It was wildly undercooked. Like, you're telling me this girl spends the entire book being reckless, emotionally unavailable, low key abandoning her sister when she knows Cath cannot function well alone, and then suddenly gets alcohol poisoning, and we're supposed to be like, ah, yes, growth, healing, resolution. No, I'm not buying that. This wasn't a redemption arc. This was a medical emergency, please. And don't get me wrong, it was serious and scary, but who hasn't gotten alcohol poisoning and survived? I was in my 20s. I had alcohol poisoning. I was at the point I was vomiting blood because I had nothing else in my stomach. And I just remember looking in the mirror and I had resolution with myself. I was like, 20 years, not so bad. We did it. We got through this. And I was like, we just need to make it through today and we'll be all right. And it was a medical situation, but did I need a redemption arc for it? No. Me and my sister went out the next night anyways. You live and you learn and you survive.
Did you learn?
Like, alcohol poisoning is not the end of the world. It's not worthy of a redemption arc. Let me tell you that.
Sometimes you talk about your 20s, and I'm like, how are you here?
I ask myself that a lot.
So, would you recommend it to your grandma?
Okay, my grandmother would read 2 pages, get to the fan fiction part, and be like, why is she rewriting a book that already exists? So, no. But would I recommend it to anyone who has ever used fiction as an emotional support system? Yes, you will feel seen.
Yeah. I say yes, absolutely. But I do have to say, I call this book an in-between book. It's like when you finish a very,
Yes.
right? You finish like a very heavy, very emotional book. You're like, let me read this one because this is sweet, this is warm. You can just go with the flow.
We call these kind of books palate cleansers. So I would recommend it after reading, something like Chokehold. Move on to
All
this.
right,
It's
that's
a nice
enough
palate
opinions.
cleanser.
Let's not go back to chokehold, please. Don't bring that trauma to me. That's enough opinions for one episode, okay?
But I have so much more.
We've read,
We've discussed.
but did we fully understand it?
That's still up for debate.
Follow us on everything at Reading Between Wines for more book chaos and questionable takes. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana. We'll see you next Friday with another book.
Another bottle.
And definitely more opinions you certainly did not ask for.
But needed.
And remember,
Drink responsibly.
actually critique irresponsibly.
Okay. Bye!
Like it's giving vineyard aesthetic, but then you take a sip and you're like, ooh, you're messy. You're chaotic. You have made very questionable choices.
Oh, so you tell me they have good PR.
It's exactly it. It's elite branding, but it's box wine behavior.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.